That you, Benson? How you doing? So you blew the mental test, huh? Potentially unstable. I'd have been unstable, too, if I knew I was going to get Saturn 3. Saturn 3. You're not going to appeal, are you? I wouldn't recommend it. It's been tried before. Hey, Benz, what are you doing? Wait a minute, Benz! Holy hell, stop! Stop! No, Ben!
No one cares.
It's true.
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Film Sack. This is Film Sack, episode 687, and we are mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind. My name is Scott Johnson, joined today by Brian. Hey, Spartacus, you got a funky-looking mole on your temple you might want to look at, Dunaway.
Where do you see my butt? Oh, hi.
Hi.
This week on Film Sack, we find ourselves in a real Sophie's No Choice when we are forced into a Saturn three-way with an old man, strong man, and a brain tube face-stealing robot who is hot for our smile, fit for a poster on every 12-year-old boy's wall of the 1980s, and this sci-fi horror now reassembling itself on Amazon Prime, but available on YouTube for free because nobody is monitoring this movie for signs of life.
And Tubi.
No tax and contact.
I said and Tubi, but it's fine. Keep going.
And Tubi. And Tubi with commercials. Or free on YouTube. Anywho, we don't have to fly through the rocky rings of Saturn to land on his third moon and current home of Earth's hydroponic food farm, but nobody says we can't. So everybody does. And not to bring everybody down while we are tripping the light fantastic on these blue pills, but I sure hope nobody is out here in this lawless space taking advantage of young women by leveraging their position of power. Hey, Randy, you have a great body. May I use it? Holy cow!
You have a great body. May I use it?
Yes.
I was really hoping somebody would integrate that. Maybe we'll hear more of it in a second. Let's go to Randy. Hector, please put him down. Jordan.
Aloha, Scott. Brian, your presence required urgent. We have to ship some completely empty containers to somewhere in space, and the only way to do it is to wear funny helmets, so your presence pad clearance soonest. I know you don't like it, but we've given you Saturn 3, which is spelled Saturn, like the planet, but we say Saturn for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
What when they want to give you the solar system an enema, that's where they stick the tube in, if you know what I mean. wait, you don't know what I mean? Neither do I. I was hoping you could explain it to me, but you're gonna be fine out here in space as long as you make sure your Enron face tattoo is visible and you follow my 3 no taction contact rules. Number 1, when introducing your partner to a new guy who's visiting, whatever you do, don't say your partner's name or rank or anything. Don't say anything. She's nothing to you. Number 2, if you need something removed from your eye, a jealous robot that crushes drinking vessels and chess pieces is perfect for the job. Just hold still. Hold still, damn it. Number 3, have sex with your partner every day. Shower together every day. Do lots of foreplay, and don't forget to have sex, unless you don't have a partner. In that case, you must watch the people who are partnered and pursue sex with the woman relentlessly. There's really no other point to being alive out here.
May I use it? You have to say. At least they were trying to get consent. I'll give them that. All right, let's finally end it here with, hey, Brian, I guess the last thing you want to do is let Harvey Keitel do his own voice work ibit.
Move along quickly now.
Yeah,
definitely, for sure.
It's good stuff.
There was a character in here that reminded me of another character from another movie that we've watched here on Film Sack, and that inspired today's song. So let's jump back. Remind ourselves of how great Steve Guttenberg was before, when he wasn't helping move people's cars in Los Angeles.
Oh my gosh.
I knew that.
Brilliant.
Oh man, the fade, you haven't done a good fade out before, have you? Where you
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Not with actual singing in the fade out.
Yeah, that's hard.
Don't think I've done that. Usually I just go to the end of the karaoke track, find the end, and then zoop, move it up to the like around the 2.5 minute mark, wherever it fits.
Now, here's what's funny. The first time in the history of you doing these, I pictured Hector walking around with that stupid bobbly little camera head while the song was going. Like it worked somehow.
These when I feel like I've got a really good one, it feels like I need a YouTube video to go along with it. And if I had the time, I'd make a YouTube video for each of these that has the scenes and
make it look like the short circuit comedy that it should have easily been.
Yeah, this could be one of those meme videos where you recut the outtakes, so to speak, and make it into like a Full House TV series opening.
Exactly, like cheesy little logo for Saturn 5.
I think that's why it works.
Whatever the damn movie's called.
I think that's why it works so well. It really did bring me back to it. So make of that what you will, listeners. This movie's weird as shit. And it deserves your time. We haven't. I said this to you guys pre-show. We haven't really dug into a meal of hot garbage in a while. We've seen some pretty good movies.
Omega Doom or
it's been a while.
Golly. It's something we all agree on, which is you can have fun even when something is objectively bad. You should try to find a way to make fun of it, to lighten your own mood by observing how bad it is. This is what this is for.
Yeah, I think so.
Would you say Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation or Firewalker since then, or would you even put those above this?
Oh,
I would definitely put the Next Generation TSM above this. This is this is like on a TED scale. This is the one. This is the thing you assign the number one to, so that you have a whole scale.
Yeah, but it's also
a nice run. Yeah. Like we had 4 in a row: Omega Doom, Darkman, Firewalker, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Next Generation. Yeah. And Salem's Lot and Puppet Master really kind of continued that trend.
They really did. But this is like going back to, I don't know. It's Logan's Run. Yeah, like an earnest. They're earnest about it. They really want to make this movie. Everybody's serious about it, and they don't realize how bad it is. There's also kind of a tragedy around this. The original director was the set director for the Star Wars movies. Empire Strikes Back, he won something for that, and started directing this thing, and then was also splitting his time between this and Empire, and
it doesn't show.
Died of meningitis on Empire.
Yeah, we're talking about John Barry, the original director.
Passed away fell over on set and died later of this meningitis infection. So that's why they had to have somebody else come in and film. There's trivia that Kirk Douglas picked up directing duty for about 3 weeks before they got that all solved. So there's a lot of like earnestness and tragedy around this and all this other stuff. The end result, though, is a popsicle with poo-poo on it. It's not good.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
It's just not good.
If you're waiting for me to defend it, you're gonna keep
good.
Keep on waiting.
All right, we'll keep waiting for the
version of this year.
Tell us.
No, I watched it. I watched just like you fools did, either through YouTube, Tubi, Plex. Whatever.
I bet you watched it fewer times than I did, because I was exhausted on Wednesday night. And I fell asleep after the Amazon middle commercial break.
I was an hour in, and one of my cats came in and was like, meow. And I was like, oh, you need some cat food? I went and I sat on the floor while the cat ate his food. That's the procrastination level that I had. I was like, how you doing? Doing good?
Yeah. Oh, good. Need anything else? Need a back rub? Want to go to the vet?
Yeah. We'll do anything but watch this? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I watched the second half again, but that's when the song popped in. It's like, okay, well, it's worth it to watch this stupid thing again for this reason.
I did like the set. So the set design is obviously it's old, right? There's a lot of padded carpet and sort of weird clothes designs and all that stuff. But the actual like hallways of that place with all that tubing and everything, some of that kind of worked for me. It was all right.
Oh, it did. That set was pretty big. Farrah Fawcett had to run to find her dog decapitated.
She had to run for hours.
It was great though, because you'd see the same curved section of tunnelway that they needed to go through, and then they'd show it from the other angle. You're like, yeah, there's that pipe right there. I see what you're doing.
Yeah. But I mean, the fact that this guy, the first director before he passed away, was like this visionary designer for set direction in the Star Wars movies, which, you know, very iconic. The stuff he did with that, with like the crazy walls and the Death Star and the way the sort of non-OSHA approved quality of all that stuff.
You can tell from the first 10 minutes that the different person had eyes on what this movie was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first 10 minutes, it's so much more artistic, and there's so many more things that you have to really work on, you know, like paintings and people walking on the ceiling and the floor at the same time and stuff like that.
Kind of had a real quiet beginning, no sound during
totally
the opening
quiet.
credits.
It was a silent opening. It was so weird.
I had to check my sound. I thought there was something wrong.
I did too. We've had this thing recently with our Apple TV where with one of the streaming providers, I can't remember which one it is, we might get no audio for like the beginning might come in with no audio. And so we're just in the habit of like, oh, no audio, close that app, reopen it, back up and did it
I checked two sources to make sure that I
was.
wasn't losing my mind. I didn't want to show up and go, that silent beginning was stupid. And I goes, what?
Right.
Before we get too far, we should let Fake Fletcher have his way.
Fletcher.
That's twice now. I've called him Flake Fletcher. Anyway, so I really want to ensure people. I don't know how to do this and make it as obvious as I can or as true as I can. I do not change this thing when I put new stuff into it. I don't change it. I don't tweak anything. I just post it, paste it, hit the thing, generate it, poops it out. I get the file. I promise that's all I'm doing. Here's what it did for Saturn III.
On this week's episode of Film Sack, a movie no one had ever heard of, we watch Saturn III. Lovers who dwell on a space station amidst Saturn's asteroid fields are invaded by an ambitious technocrat from Earth and his giant evil robot. Sounds super dumb. Let's go.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Lovers? I like that. So they weren't doing hydroponics. They were just lovers in space.
They're just lovers in space.
Yeah. Hydroponics on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, little hydroponics on the side, baby.
Mm-hmm. Did you think?
I'd like to direct myself taking a shower with Farrah Fawcett for a little while. Can you take a few takes of that, please?
Funny enough, this is her only, despite the fact that they, against her wishes, some topless photos of her were released at some point down the road. This was the only scene where she is at all showing her
really, I could have sworn she did like a pictorial for one of the magazines.
I think those were the ones that she did not agree.
Those are the ones that are released without her permission.
Yeah, or something like that. Or they owned the rights to him, but she was trying to get him to stop and they wouldn't stop or something. I did a big deep dive on it because I was like, well, all right, if she's going to do this with old man, 65-year-old freaking Kirk Douglas while she's 32 or whatever, like what else has she been up to? And it turns out she was actually kind of not into it.
More private.
Yeah.
Huh. She was for me first celebrity crush. That big poster that everybody had with the the red bathing suit and the stripes behind it. That was like first crush for Brian, probably. For you.
Lots of us. Don't feel bad. Yep.
Would you? Yeah, don't feel bad for sure. Don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad.
For me, it was the smart one. Of the Angels.
What?
And I don't mean that as a knock against Ibbott, but the one that was like brainy. She was like less. She was less
slam against me and more about. You mean like on Charlie's Angels, the character, smarter character.
Yeah, yeah. That's all I'm saying. I don't mean actress is smarter. But she was the one that wasn't
Jacqueline Smith. Right?
No, she was
the short-haired one, Sabrina. Kate Jackson.
Kate Jackson. That was my jam. Yeah. I don't know why, but that's for whatever reason. I just needed her to take care of me. That's what that was. I was definitely not saying.
I like the smart one, Brian.
I just think it says a lot about the state of my little brain then, because I just thought, these other girls are way out.
Call it your little brain. Okay,
they were out of my league. You know,
that was their goal. I mean, that show was like basically, all right, Jill has to go in and pretend. You know, she doesn't know what she's doing so that she can get the guy to fork over the key or give her the key card or whatever. And meanwhile, Sabrina was in the back there, whatever the equivalent in the early 70s of hacking the computer was.
Yeah, yep, that was her job.
That.
You know, she's very pretty and everything. She's not like she wasn't, a very attractive lady.
All three of them were beautiful. And
it was just
the replacements that they brought in.
They were angels.
Yeah. They were angels. You're right.
Bosley was a weird looking cuss, but
can you believe that it took 15 weeks to shoot Saturn 3?
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Can you believe that?
Well,
That's just
part of
know.
that because
I
of the death and it got delayed and stuff.
Well,
I don't know.
and it's also, I mean, it's boring to watch, but those robotic scenes and stuff and building the actual robot, that robot's freaking impressive. It's dumb looking, but
It was $1 million,
impressive.
over $1 million to make that robot. 8 feet tall,
Yeah.
all practical, $1 million. Crazy.
That big
all
old brain in a
practical
tube.
effects,
Mhm.
and has to be, remotely controllable with hydraulics and stuff like that. That is really impressive.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about you're Harvey Keitel and you get
Right.
this great job working with
Right.
legends, and then you go spend 15 weeks living in a trailer, and there are occasionally like you have sometimes you have 4 straight days you don't actually act. Like
Yeah.
it's
Right.
wild.
It is
You
pretty
spend time
wild.
growing your ponytail.
And then
Yeah.
and at one point they say, hey, Harvey, we're not using your voice lines that we recorded. We're going to use some other guy.
yeah.
I wonder how that went. I tried to find more info and I couldn't, but he's...
I wonder if it was a surprise like it was for Andy McDowell for Tarzan.
oh, I forgot about that. That's
Yeah,
a good one.
Like she
According
showed
to
up and all of a sudden, wait a minute, I don't sound like that. That's Glenn Close.
yeah, that's
According
weird.
to the trivia, after they recorded all the whatever Ed Bishop lines, they went to Harvey Keitel and said, "Would you like to come in and try to do this yourself?"
Oh.
And he didn't.
Oh.
He refused. Or
Hmm.
he didn't respond.
He didn't
or
want to
whatever.
do ADR later. That's interesting because they all have to do some of that, right?
Oh, no, he was like, "Is the pretty one going to be there?" No, I'm out.
I think Harvey. It's interesting. Harvey Keitel's such an interesting actor, right? Because his stuff is just so wildly iconic. You think of him in
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs or The Piano or just about anything, and I think Harvey Keitel is one of the most memorable screen character actors maybe ever. In this, he looks 25. It's not his voice. He really doesn't make too many expressions outside of like kind of the one. It's a weird thing for him.
Right.
It's a very strange role that I didn't know existed until we decided to watch this.
I like it because it's how do you play that part of future? Because did they ever say exactly what year it was supposed to be? I don't think that was ever any mention of it, or at least I missed it.
Good question. I don't think they did. I think
All
you're
we
right.
know is it's sometime in the future, and humanity has lost its humanity essentially, except for these who are living on this on the Saturn or Saturn 3, right? So yeah, it's I don't know. How do you play that?
Let's
I think
see.
he went full in.
I'm trying to find. I can't find it keeps saying just in the future. So you're right. There is no date on this. But I don't know. The idea, what's hidden in here is a really awesome movie idea. In some ways,
It's a good movie.
It's derivative of a bunch of other stuff, but it's also, this predates Terminator, predates a lot of things.
Yeah.
I bet.
Alien, yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. So this idea of you being on this base and that isolation aspect of it all, the couple, even the age difference and trying to just deal with that as a issue.
Right.
There's a movie there that could be made like today. Somebody could make a 2-hour Netflix thing and blow our minds, and it would be great.
Right.
You just need the right. This is all wrong time, wrong people, wrong vibe. Everything's just wrong. And if you could really make a rad sci-fi movie today, it'd be really violent, and really scary, and all that. You could go nuts with it.
This robot that they have in here is actually pretty freaking terrifying. This is really sci-fi horror. I didn't feel it necessarily until almost the very end when this movie left me scratching my head with the ending because Farrah Fawcett, she survives, and we knew it was coming because Kirk Douglas's character told her, sacrifice is the only human thing, and so he sacrifices himself. Anyway, Farrah Fawcett is heading towards Earth, which we as viewers don't know exactly, just what Harvey Keitel has told us. And there's this ominous music playing, like this
Very
is the
ominous.
horror part.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the scary part.
That
I'm
is
like,
it was a weird choice because I thought, wait, are you setting yourself up for a sequel, and are you saying Earth's a mess and she's about to enter a bigger mess than she thought she was leaving? Like, what are you doing here? Or is she a robot somehow? Like they were trying to make you feel things that I don't think they meant to make us feel.
Did anything happen after her and Kirk Douglas took the blue pill?
She got.
I don't know. I
She
tried
got a
to
new
figure that
hairdo.
out too.
Oh, like
Right.
maybe that's really the end of reality in the movie, and everything else
Yeah.
that happens after it is.
Yeah, clear mark.
Also, I got a
Wow,
question about the
Brian.
blue pill. So the blue pill looked like a bean, first of all. Like,
It did. It was.
Might have been a
It
bean.
was gooey.
yeah,
And
but
apparently, when you go to
Jelly
cut it
bean.
in half, it just divides itself neatly into two halves.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure it was a jelly bean.
Is it cake?
yeah, I know it was
Yeah.
really
Raisin cake,
cakey.
I love that.
Very
Yeah.
cakey. But then I watched him, and I know this is just a trick of the film. The film is just trying to hide it. But I watched him act like he put it in his mouth and then hide it next to his tray. I don't think the
Getting ready for his senior years, I suppose.
well, and that's my point. Is like I don't think it's a plot point that he didn't eat it. I think that
Yeah.
he
You think
was
it's the Kirk
supposed to.
Douglas thing, like
Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
they've been trying to poison me on this set for weeks.
So that threw me for like 20 minutes. I was like, gosh dang it. Did he
Yeah.
eat it or didn't he? Did he have the effect that, like, did they even explore the effect? Did they just fall asleep? Were they just asleep? And was Keitel walking
Yeah.
around with his wiener out? Like, what was going on there? I don't know.
But it is interesting. Like, all right, when this movie came out, the drug culture was in such a place that it wasn't so.
We're pulling
obviously
back from it, right?
Yeah, they were exactly. It's like, oh, the hippies are all doing their drugs, and Harvey Keitel's one of them. They're hippies, and now we're like, you know, how many of our favorite characters either do a little toot or smoke something, or in current films lose their car because they're a little high. Get high and go to White Castle.
Right.
Just,
Where's my
for example.
spaceship?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm. Yeah, the whole that. Sorry, I was drinking right when I said.
Oh, sure.
I agree with all that. It's just an odd bunch of decisions, and I want to say this to Dunaway about the robot design. So I'm looking at the poster right now. It is a cool poster, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
The robot is cool, with one big exception. The entirety of that
tiny
thing
head.
with all its little veins and stuff, that's cool. Watching that stuff fill up as it starts to take on its life, that's pretty cool. The sound effects are terrible, but we'll forget about that for a second. That little tiny head, it's basically number 5 is alive, but barely. Like
little tiny head with the little lasers on the end, essentially. That was something that we were using in like surgical equipment and stuff, right? So I was curious about that. Is this supposed to be kind of, tapping into the fear of modern machinery operating on people, especially when he goes after the eye and stuff? And so I was like,
but
okay,
scarier though,
dumb.
because I think of that little tiny head. I don't know what it is about that, but
it is
that
there's no brain in
ginormous
there.
torso, little short legs and arms. Well, comparatively long arms, really. I guess if you shorten up that torso to the right proportion with those legs, but the fact that it does have that little tiny head definitely makes it 10 times scarier.
The future seems to be made up of we didn't have to, but we're gonna, because this robot didn't have to have pectoral muscles, but he does. You didn't have to skip across the rings of Saturn to get to the moon 3 or whatever, but you did. So I don't know what's going on with humanity. It's like we don't have to, but we're gonna.
Yeah. Who's the guy? Who's the guy in the new? I guess the old two, but the new. It's Beetlejuice movie with the tiny head and the huge body. What's his name? Bob. That's the vibe. That's the vibe this robot gave me. This was almost like the skeleton of Bob, with all the skin taken off, and that's what Bob looks like underneath. Because that tiny head, I just can't take a tiny head seriously. I can't do it.
We didn't have to design a brain that was cylinder in shape, but we did.
Jam it up in the middle of that thing.
Bob just wants a little head. It's fine. Poor Bob.
Right?
You're talking about some of my favorite stuff too. Like like I can't stop thinking about how this is a robot. Or are we calling it a robot? What are we calling it?
They called it a robot, so we may as well.
This is organically powered though, right? And
so this is an android that if you break it apart, it can put itself back together.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's terrifying. That's amazing. They really didn't know what they had there, because if you're rewriting this script, man, you're gonna have this thing put itself back together over and over. Like every time they think they've won, it's coming back because for some reason it's got a cylinder down the middle of it that is
the movie was proud of that too, boy. They went I started looking at my clock. I'm like, okay, has this thing been putting itself together for 5 minutes and we've been watching it? You really could have just showed me sliding a couple of arms in and we could just cut.
Oh yeah, that was really a drag, that bit, I thought.
But then there's this horrible self-conflict in this movie, but it cannot decide whether if you make taction contact with something it's so delicate. It's so freaking delicate that there's you're going to ruin everything. If you even just touch the thing. Then on the other hand, it's like able to rip a dog up and walk around with dog blood all over. It's not that delicate at all.
Poor puppy. And they had to show it to us too. Come on.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was gnarly. And the dude that got cut
bright
up,
red juicy blood.
the guy that got cut up in the beginning into the thing that kept calling it Saturn or Saturn.
Yeah, that was so fun.
That was meant to be. It was meant to be
called.
gross, but I was just like, you just look like confetti down there, dude. You just kind of popped into It's like a party favor in there.
Anybody
Was he supposed to,
rewatch
like,
that?
freeze?
No,
Was he supposed to
I
freeze or
didn't. I didn't
something?
back it up. I meant to because I was going to do a GIF, and then I didn't. I got lazy.
It was the fourth time you watch it is the best. Trust me. You rewatch that sequence.
I will tell you that if it's as enjoyable as when Hector is destroyed in the water, when he finally dunks him in the water, because I just love that scene. It reminded me so much of every behind the scenes of commercials where people throw water and they throwing pieces and stuff. It had to be such a fun day. It's like the final day of shooting maybe, and you're just taking pieces. Everybody's like, let's get out of here. Everybody's throwing pieces of Hector up in the air. And
oh my God.
somebody's got a hose pipe.
That was the scene for me that seemed to take forever. It's like, okay, we get it. He's dead. Yeah, we don't need 100 shots of his pieces.
Also, I'm just going to be a pisser about the sound work. I thought it was bad. I think the robot sounds, the computer sounds, the lack of any real soundtrack. Maybe we were spared something there by having it be minimalistic, the soundtrack itself, the music. But the actual sound work on the robot was really grating. I had a hard time with it.
I did start getting the language from it, though. Like, by the end of it, when Hector would get mad, I recognized it.
Yes.
I recognized it. How you dare you talk about? Come here, you.
Yeah. When Keitel's voice, because it wasn't him, but when his voice would get all fired up, I enjoyed the movie the most because it was just this guy needs to calm the F down. Needs to take a chill pill, relax for 5 seconds, quit being such a pud. But ultimately, I liked that part, and I didn't think I was going to. I just thought, well, it's not his voice. I like Harvey Keitel. This is a waste of his career. I like that guy.
Well, that gave me the greatest pickup line I'll ever have if I ever get single again. You have a great body. May I use it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a great body. May I use it?
May I use it?
Are you done with it?
You're leading me to the question that I had for the movie, which is, what's this movie about? And I always ask that question. I ask that question about every episode of every TV show.
Feels like a fair question, Randy, right? It's not a crazy question. Seems like a good
what are you
one.
trying to prove here?
Yeah.
Right. But like, I think this movie is regular sci-fi, right? This is like in the middle of what we consider sci-fi, right? There's lots of suspension of disbelief about how the universe works, but then also like the robot. Is it just about the dangers of melding our minds with robots,
right?
Or is it just about sex and the sex drive driving men mad? And
that's the selling point, the sex, right? My opinion, sex sells. However, the message here
in your opinion
was right, in my opinion. But what the message is here is that whatever you put into the robots is going to be, that's what you're going to get out. And so if a murderer is the ones who trains the robot, you're going to get that out, which is kind of so topical for now, right? Because we talk about that all the time with AI, right? You put in bad shit and get bad shit out.
It's just based on the input you give it.
Yeah. Which is a lesson in itself. I mean, we just talked about this on TMS, but a couple of us had just seen The Substance, and that's a movie where you constantly have to ask yourself, what's this movie about? Because it really gets all up in your face in very disgusting ways while trying to, have a real message, like have a real meaningful conversation. And that's when a movie can do that well, it's awesome. If this movie was trying to do that, I mean, it's fine, I guess. I just didn't really land. I don't know
any message this movie was trying to deliver was, tossed out at some point and said, yeah, let's just have fun.
My takeaway is the future is way too weird about horny dudes. It's way too weird about age differences, because she's old enough to be his granddaughter. She's 33 years younger than him.
Oh, she is literally half his age when this movie was. She was 32, he was 64. It literally
Yeah.
half his age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, hugging on him through a robe with her boobies on him. And all I could think of was like, did you really want, whose idea?
Who signed up for this?
Yeah.
You know whose idea that was.
Yeah.
Right, that was definitely Kirk Douglas's idea. I'll tell you what, I'll be in your movie.
Yeah.
But
I'm Spartacus, he said. Yeah.
I always wanted to do the Charlton Heston voice with him too.
Right.
I needed a very hot blonde. How about this Charlie's Angels girl?
Like trying to get it, and I watched the Siskel and Ebert on this.
Oh.
Fun. What did they say? Yeah.
They both hated it. They both called it was Ebert's turn to introduce the film, and he called it not only the worst film of 1980, but possibly the worst film of any year.
Jeez.
And I wouldn't argue.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, so they're really against it, but they both talked about it like it had some core of something interesting, and it just didn't have any means to get there.
Right.
And like, so for all the sex stuff, there is something there. There's something about the sex stuff that I'm sure felt right to the writer originally, right? Felt like I'm going to tell a really interesting, twisted tale.
He's being replaced, right? I mean,
yeah.
So I mean, that's the thing. There's a newer model. He's getting replaced, and I don't know why the age difference. Other than I think maybe they had to force that in there. I don't think they intentionally said we should have a young woman and a really old guy. I think they somehow Kirk Douglas got a hold of the script and says, "I'm in," and they said, "Okay, it sounds like we're having this. Let's squeeze it in."
Yeah.
By the way,
that.
they're exactly 30 years age difference between the two.
Birthday. They have birthday.
Right.
Share a birthday? No way.
Well, okay, it's off by 2 months.
Oh, okay. I thought
30 years minus 2 months.
I was gonna be all impressed with that. That would be awesome.
Right.
Yeah, the same birthday.
Give or take 30 years.
Yeah.
Give or take.
And-
I mean, I don't even
and
mind that. I don't even mind that as a
to-
subplot. That's a fine thing to discuss or to get your head around. Like, well, what are our social mores around age differences? They're consenting adults, but what does it mean when there's this difference? And really play with that. Like, I think a proper movie could do a better job of doing that. They just
Saturn.
They're portrayed as being into each other, so you get the idea that maybe they were a couple before they were shipped out to space, and like, so that's the whole plan, that you send couples out because you need two people working at the station, and if they're in love and they they have something to do together, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you just explain a little bit, it becomes much more intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting vibes that Kirk Douglas definitely bought her. I don't know how he got her, but I was getting vibes of that.
Yeah, that's a fair.
Like, she was this young, didn't know any different. This is because what else if you're okay.
Right.
So,
she's never been to Earth, so
if there's two of them on a planet and that's all you got to choose from, last man on Saturn 3.
Yep,
I guess so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you like half a Harvey Keitel's face? That was pretty cool on the robot.
Oh, dude, that when they says we've come to an arrangement, and he shows up and he's wearing the Harvey Keitel head. That's great.
Yeah, and you never really got the feeling there was the feeling of duality through the whole thing, whether Harvey's character was into it or not. Like, did he want the robot to ascend to this next level and integrate him directly and all that? It seems like maybe kind of he's a little bit sadistic that way, so maybe, but then also he didn't want to die, and he got he got hit in the head real hard and then drug out of there.
Yeah.
And he drug him across the floor, that giant robot puppet.
That was great.
You know what? The puppet, I'm going to go back to that. It's pretty damn good except for the head. It's pretty good. Yeah. Everything but that stupid, spindly little dumb head. Just give it some meat up there. Give it something.
And the head is all lit up. And that makes no sense, right? You need if your eye, wherever your eyes are, you need to be gathering light, not projecting light.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I just kept looking at it like, how does it see? I don't understand how it sees.
Yeah,
sure.
I want to know more about see. Show me how you see. And also when it would move, because this is, an old movie and they weren't thinking about it, there wasn't any kind of gimbal on those eyes. So when he would walk and make a step, the eyes would go, yoing, 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 yoing.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
And I'm just like, dude, is he seeing anything? Does he have image stabilization turned on? Like, what's going on in that head?
It's the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Who knows how it works?
And I've seen this poster or this, I guess probably this VHS tape 1,000 times in the old Blockbuster days. Never knew what was going on. I just went, oh, another Terminator ripoff. Fun.
A Star Wars like or whatever.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Not only was this movie made, like, it was in production a full 3 years after Star Wars was in production. this movie was started 3 years after Star Wars came out. Everyone making this movie has seen Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
What is wrong with them?
Well, one of the original director was literally helped make Star Wars, so he'd definitely seen Star Wars. So yeah. Like there's definitely there's a vibe on this thing where I could see they were reaching for some of the same tone. They were trying.
Right.
They just did not get it, man.
They're pulling from everything. It was a sci-fi. The start of it was like a sci-fi gumbo or something. It was just pulling from everything. And I appreciate it, except for the fact that that logo looked way too much like a Pepsi logo. And I wasn't sure if that was intentional or not. Because I'm like, the future is going to be, I was like, are y'all thinking ahead? Thinking about how, corporations, especially during the 80s, are really going to become a big part of our dystopic future that we're going to be portraying in sci-fi movies or not. And I was like, I don't know.
That's like saying this movie is a lot better than it is. It's basically.
I know.
You're giving more credit, but
that's why I was at the beginning of the movie when I didn't quite know what I was in for. So I was just like,
one of the key, I know Dunaway saw this too, but one of the key photo images that are on the IMDb page for this is the shot. And I just think that's a funny thing that somebody had to do.
Straight to the crotch. Just like,
Yeah.
You know, we need a crotch in the foreground and Douglas's face smiling in the back with some kind of liquor
and a little whiskey.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now I may have forgotten, but is that a robot lady standing there? Who is that?
That is Farrah Fawcett, and it did not show up in the film. I don't know if it got cut from the version I saw. But I kept watching
okay.
She comes out in some sort of weird leather outfit, and there's shots of her fully in that leather outfit, but there's
here it is.
No scene as to like why
found
she's
it.
in
I honestly thought this was Labyrinth for a hot second, and that was David
Barbara.
Bowie.
Oh, you thought that was Bowie?
Yeah, that was David Bowie.
The teased hair for sure.
Yeah.
But it does take Barbarella too.
That is the hairstyle she has when you see her later on as she's going to Earth. She's like, "Well, I'm going to Earth. I'm doing up my hair."
Yeah,
I'm going to Earth.
Pretty
rock from the sun.
I really would like an explainer on what was going on with the Earth trip, because you don't have that intense psycho music.
Okay, so the movie way overshot what it could pull off in the final scene, right?
Yeah.
Right. It was way more that I think. This is just me. I'm
right.
A bunch of interpretation.
Dude, we're allowed. I don't think there's. I know there's a DVD and a Blu-ray, but I doubt there's any.
I think they are accidentally taking this robot technology with them to Earth.
That's what I thought too.
I'm not saying the robot puts himself back together in something we're not seeing. Just I think they're not supposed to be taking this technology, some part of it, to Earth. That's the only thing I can assume.
His little brain can made it onto the escape pod or whatever.
Did you guys ever I know Ibit probably did. Did you guys ever work somewhere where we had to swap out the drink canisters?
Totally did.
Yeah.
I was like, every time I saw that thing, I was like, between the Pepsi connection and seeing that canister, I kept thinking,
the CO2, the giant CO2 tanks that you have to swap out.
We're out of Diet Coke. There's more in the back, kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly. Having to lug one of those things. Oh, geez.
They're heavy when they're full of syrup.
They are. They totally are.
Yeah, I don't like them. We had somebody. I worked at a sandwich shop, and it was called Brannigan's, and somebody dropped one of those on the floor, and it exploded and just shot all over the room and shot syrup all over the effing room. Yeah, it was bad.
That's what it.
I've never been more glad that of a thing that wasn't me. I was so glad it wasn't me.
Oh, wow.
Because he was in so much trouble for that. It just ruined that back area. It was so bad.
Speaking of explosions, when Hector he's all going down the hall, all frozen and stuff after they escape, and they're putting their suits on ever so leisurely, trying to get out to the escape pod, and Hector's just going, and then they almost make it to the ship, and he goes, explodey.
Yes.
I don't know why. I don't know why that made me laugh, but I was like, futile humans.
It was also a very dumb one.
Well, at least he's not trying to kill us.
What's his name again? He's not Kirk Douglas anymore. I love it.
No, it's Charles Heston.
There's nothing wrong with this. These guys are cut from the same chode back then, right?
Exactly.
So
I don't think I could pull. I don't know what a Kirk Douglas impersonation would sound like.
So I got a question though. If he fell in the really cold hydroponic water and then got out there and was all frozen with the icicles and whatnot, why did he explode immediately with Kirk Douglas when he fell in the same water?
Because Kirk Douglas had put
yeah, the
canisters on his back of some kind of explosive.
Well, then
Yeah,
why
that little thing that he was holding was a little anchor portable detonator. Yes.
couldn't he have done that without the water part? Like, couldn't he have just smacked those and ran off and then dive behind some boxes and let
But
him
he was
blow up?
trying to keep Farrah Fawcett safe. Didn't want to blow up on her, area of
so that
effect.
was to deaden the explosion.
Sacrifice.
All right.
Sacrifice.
All right. It's the only thing humans have is sacrifice. It's all we
AoE
got.
blast. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Got a little splash damage on her there.
that's right.
I have some scrutiny, though. There is one trivia thing that really bugged me. Scrutiny. And I'm not sure this is, I don't know how, you can't prove this. The guy's dead, and I doubt his son knows what this is. Kirk Douglas thought, he said, this is what it claims, thought that the clothes he wore in the movie were so comfortable, all that velour and everything he was wearing, that he kept all of it after production wrapped and took it home. I don't know if you did that.
I believe it. Totally believe it.
Yeah, okay.
The wardrobe was large for a 3-person movie. Essentially, there was a lot of wardrobe changes.
Yeah.
It was,
and they did look comfortable from a just material standpoint. Obviously, they're cheesy and old and moose knuckly, but
except for leather spacesuits. Do we wear leather spacesuits? I felt like that was definitely what Keitel was wearing at the beginning.
We definitely don't. Yeah.
And apparently we've taken on bug technology. We ran into some bug aliens. Everything is like, bug-eyed shaped weird ships and stuff.
Like the
lander.
Yeah, the lander. Yeah. Even the suits. The head pieces on the suits that they had to wear.
They looked a little like oversized.
Kind of bug battle where we had to make new outfits we keep wearing.
Yeah, we can fill in that lore if we want. I think that's fine.
Boy, this movie gets better if you do that.
It gets a lot better. Yeah, give me some backstory. Those guys, all those spacesuits, they look like Spider-Man helmets with huge eyes.
They did. Yeah.
Gigantic, like mesh eyeballs.
We had to fight the sectoids.
Yeah.
Once again, I realize you're kind of limited in what you can do, but they just look like bad stormtroopers. Like, they just look like a bad recreation of Star Wars characters.
Yeah, there's nothing about this movie where I went, oh, the quality.
I kind of like this. I kind of like the Ship 19, kind of that Battlestar Galactica almost Viper thing that was something in between. I kind of like the ship design of that one that came by and was like all perving over Farrah Fawcett.
Hey, it was very Viper.
Yeah. I want to see. That's the other backstory I need to understand more. What is going on with the oogling and googling around women in the future, where they're always going, hey, can you put her on camera? Let me talk to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Woman. There's only one woman in space, and her name is Farrah Fawcett.
I
Why
guess
not?
so.
Exactly.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't like eye horror, and this movie tried to give me some.
God, that was scary.
The DVD release looks like this. They actually used that scene for the DVD cover. Look at that.
Yeah. Why not? If you got Farrah Fawcett's terrified face and Harvey Keitel ripping her eye open, why not?
Why not?
Couldn't there be some attempt to depict whatever was in the eye, though? Because like, was like no, they didn't even.
That means
try.
they have to put a practical effect of putting something in Farrah Fawcett's eye, right?
Yeah.
It was tiny, small, and it went twink.
Yeah.
Luckily, she's got like a lot of specks in her eye color, so that kind of gave me something to look at. Like, oh, let me see. I can't. No.
Clearly, it's it's there. We don't see it, but clearly she's got something.
Yeah,
right.
Something in her eye, and I don't like the feeling of having something in my eye, but.
Oh, dude, that was terrifying because we had set up all the way into this point that everything the robot touches, he squashes, and so we're going to go after the most sensitive, fragile thing in a human body and just go.
Right.
Yeah. Were we annoyed or did we laugh when Harvey Keitel's tapping his fingers, rapping his knuckles on the table, and the robot is also rapping
the same thing?
Yeah. It was pretty dumb.
Actually, it was pretty cool. Well, it was
but help me understand. Like, is he remote controlled or is he autonomous? What is he?
So during this time, a lot of industrial robots were the ones we would be looking at. And you would program them mostly by actually moving them around, like physically moving them around and programming them that way. So I felt like that was kind of part of that. So it was kind of like saying, okay, we're going to imbue these robots and we're going to train them on what we know, but what else are we putting in there? So yeah, everything that he was radioing in from his brain stem was getting fed into the robot.
Okay. Okay, so that was
that's my take.
That's your take, or that's I think you're probably right.
I take that take.
Yeah,
I take that take and keep
I'll take that take.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm having such a good time looking at these international posters for this thing, but they're
Oh,
wildly
so
different, man.
good.
Wildly
They're so
different.
freaking good. They made the robot look better too. Look at that.
A lot of really talented artists were employed to make these posters.
Yeah, that seems. I mean, whatever. Lots of
World
high-minded.
posters are always great. I
Look at
love
that
looking
thing.
at world posters.
Yeah.
Look at this Saturno 3 or whatever it is.
Oh, look at
No.
Isn't that awesome? I mean, this is very cool.
Why does Farrah Fawcett look so sad? She's like, oh
Oh my gosh!
Right as she found her dog, probably. Oh, no.
Right.
Oh my dog. The dog did not make a dog noise when it died. I will share that later, but it's really rough.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite poster. This is one. They didn't even have this scene in the movie yet. Here it is.
that would be the movie I'd go see, though. That'd be the first one.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But is this
Because it's so Barbarella, you know?
It's so Barbarella.
Does every movie do this? They go crazy alternate or I guess it just depends on the territory, right?
Right.
They probably thought at the time that poster was done, they might have thought that scene was still going to be in the film.
Look at that one.
I'm sure they go around. They probably hire local companies to market towards because you got to take into consideration what the local market's going to
what they respond to. Yeah. Some of them might be like, just give me nothing but robot. And then other ones are like, I need sexy lady. I can't go to your movie unless sexy lady is involved. My brother had that red swimsuit poster that was famous that she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all did, didn't we?
On his wall. And I remember I was so young at the time. This is all pre-puberty, so I didn't really understand. So I'd walk into his room and he'd have like all these rock and roll posters, black lights, all this 70s shit. And I'd see this poster of this girl and just go, why? That's not cool.
Right.
Like this other, that Jimi Hendrix is cool, or that Star Wars poster is cool or whatever. But Farrah Fawcett in a swimsuit, I just didn't understand.
And the thing is, it's really, and the thing is about
very
her poster,
different.
I mean, I was like 8 years old or something. I was just a little kid, so I didn't know. But
the thing about that poster really is, if you go back and look at it now, you're just like, oh, it's just mostly her teeth. I mean, and sure, she's got boobs, but you can't see anything, but you're just looking at her teeth. You don't even see anything else.
Yeah, you noticed her teeth. I noticed her boobs, and that's what makes us different. That's totally fine.
Teeth.
Dude, how can you not see those teeth? It's like 1/3 of the whole picture.
It is a lot. Her teeth are pretty big in that. You're not wrong.
Nothing wrong with that, though. Just saying.
No, hey, you got big teeth. We're not here to go after you.
Yeah,
all right. I will say this. Okay, if I was on set and I was Kirk Douglas and I had some sway in Hollywood, which he did, I would absolutely take this thing home. Here, let me send it to you guys. I would take this home and wear it. Here you go. This thing right here. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Oh, I love that thing.
Look at that leisurely freaking sit on the couch kind of bullshit you would wear that for. Oh, yeah.
Can I make you a highball?
I didn't even.
I'd like to.
Right.
Can I make you a Manhattan?
Yeah, so we're looking at him in his green coveralls.
Yeah.
And they look like they're made of like green velvet.
Right.
It's really hard to explain.
Yeah.
But underneath, because he's got their zipper front. Underneath, he's wearing a black half turtleneck. And I just want to believe that is a onesie. He's wearing a bodysuit. And that would be really comfy.
Yeah.
If you put them together.
Absolutely.
I'd wear it.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a 2-piece leisure suit is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and we were about to leave those in the dust. Those were a thing for a while, and then they were about to go away. I hope he didn't keep the sweaty jog suit he wore. That was gross.
Oh my God, that was so sweaty.
Yeah, that was foul.
I love their Mars gym though. It was made up of one of those roller wheel things that helps you do like sort of kind of like push-ups,
like
and then he was
ground.
just doing and he was doing the old man. I'm surprised he didn't have a medicine ball there. He was doing the old man strongman exercises with the jump rope.
Yeah.
Watch me.
Yeah.
Trying to think what I would want. What kind of exercises would you want to do on a station like that? And I think jogging's a no-brainer because you got all those tubes and tunnels and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Rigorous sexual activity.
Yeah, rigorous sex.
Of course.
Clearly, that is it. That is
as often as you can as you can do it.
Right.
It's humanly possible.
He's sweating through that priest undershirt.
I know, right? With the high collar. Why is that even a workout thing? Give me a freaking break. It's so gross. Here's something I got a question about. I don't even know how that trap worked. So the metal trap, which I know the robot circumvented it, he figured out the trick and he, exposed it for what it was.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how any of that was being held up.
Their little corners, the edges were still intact to be.
Yeah.
So the things that were down there, the grates that he took out,
Right.
were
That's the structure.
Those are structural. Those were holding
the
it.
grates were structural, right? And then when you pulled that grate out of there, there was still enough lip,
A little edge
between
that the,
the
panels would
edge.
sit on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the idea is that he's so heavy he'll break through the panel.
Totally.
Right.
Even
Right.
yeah, any of them standing on it would have even break that panel.
And those grates were enough to give that enough structure when he would walk on it, normally not to break. Is that the idea?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. I was a little disappointed that they didn't really get any closure out of that trap.
But also, this movie is kind of saying "f you" for questioning it. Like, in a lot of ways, there's a bunch of different times where this movie is kind of like mad at you if you're questioning it. The movie just demands that you just accept that this is going to work, or that that's how things go on a moon.
Yeah.
Right. And also showed that Kirk Douglas's character also, even when things didn't go according to plan, he still had the plan, and the plan was always knock him over. He's loose on his feet. He's top heavy. Just push
he's
him over.
useless when he's on his back, which he would totally be. I mean, there's no points of articulation that get him into a standing position if he's laying down. He's a tortoise.
If your torso has to encapsulate a CO2 canister size brain mass, he's gonna be top heavy.
Yeah, not only that, Ibit said it. He can't get up. You can't do anything. You got no flexibility.
Yeah.
So they hand wave that stuff away. They're just like, oh yeah, he got up.
They do. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, did he get up? Because we didn't see it. And then when he would fall, it just kept making me think, well, just push him over. This thing is
super easy.
Yeah, exactly. He's
like
absolutely useless in that position right there.
It's so dumb.
I really wanted them to cut one of those lines with the fluid in it and watch him like bounce
out.
around.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Did anybody enjoy watching 10 straight minutes of fluid filling lines?
Actually, I did.
No.
Not 10
Unfortunately,
minutes,
I did.
but
Every time.
For the same reason I did enjoy the, like we were talking about earlier, the exploding water splashes. It's like,
I enjoyed this.
We get it. Oh.
I enjoyed the splashing because it gave me something
about people doing it.
Yeah, because I kept sitting there staring.
splashing.
I'm like, what am I going to see? Well, I've seen that part twice. They threw it twice.
Exactly. Did it go back in the water, explode, and then pop out again? Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff. But I'm kind of like I'm kind of okay. I needed this thing. You know what? I don't know why this is true of me this week, but I needed something shitty like this. So all these things we're complaining about, if you can even call it complaining, it's all what I needed. It's what the doctor ordered. I needed some cheesy, crappy early 80s sci-fi ideas that didn't work at all, that tanked at the box office, that has good actors in it doing bad work. Like, that's what I wanted, and I got it. It's like Christmas Day.
I want to question one bit, which is good actors. Yeah. I'm not so sure.
Right.
Like it made me like, I was thinking like, have we ever sacked Kirk Douglas before? Yes, we have. It was that aircraft carrier movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's all right.
Minutes to Midnight or whatever it was.
Maybe that's where he ended up at. And maybe that's where he ended up at. Maybe he ended up on Saturn.
And I'm just like, I mean, obviously Farrah Fawcett is way out of her depth. Not a bad actor, just not good enough for this kind of thing.
I didn't give her anything really.
She won some stage stuff like later in her life. Like she was going to hit her peak at a different time.
Have we all forgotten about the burning bed?
Oh yeah, remember the burning bed
later on. But at this point, I get Randy's point. At this point in her career, she's trying to transition from TV to movie. She's up against Kirk Douglas, Hollywood legend, Harvey Keitel making his way. It had to be tough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, she was in the Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. And
Goes to Mars?
Yeah, but let me tell you, that's not even the best part. That's not even the best part. You know how that movie or that show, those movies are all about all these, like, you know, here's a vacuum, here's the car jack or whatever.
It was Pixar before Pixar came along, right?
Yeah, her name in that was, well, this is way later, 98. But anyway, her character's name was Fawcett. She played a water faucet.
Oh, that is great.
Geez, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is great.
These weren't 3D, these were 2D, so it wasn't really Pixar, but it was great. 2D. I loved them. Go watch Brave Little Toaster, everybody. It's worth your time. Sequel's not great, but first one.
Brave Little Toaster that could.
Yeah.
Different.
She did a lot of that though. Johnny Bravo, bunch of voice work.
Oh yeah, she was good.
really?
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
She had a good career. She had a kind of a tragic end, but
Yeah, cancer, man. Ugh.
yeah,
Yeah, the worst
and it was
kind.
very public too.
And it was the day she died the day before Michael Jackson, and so we basically have
that's
one
right.
day of Farrah Fawcett mourning before it was like,
That's
oh
right.
my God, Michael Jackson died.
Yeah, and they forgot her on the
The in
Oscar.
memoriam.
the memoriam.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
People were really mad about that.
Sucks.
She was mostly known for TV, so I kind of get it. But they put plenty of
Right,
people on there that are mostly known for TV,
yeah.
so I don't know. They don't have a good excuse. But I didn't realize this movie was mid Charlie's Angels. So she's already an angel at this point, 76
Right.
through 80. Or I guess it was about to end for her the year this came out, and then she moved
She
on
was
to
trying
other
to
stuff.
transition to some movies.
That's right, Cannonball Run,
Yeah.
Fall Guy, just as a regular person.
Cannonball Run.
Sure.
That's probably a reason why she did nude scenes, because I mean that's kind of how you had to do it
Well,
during that time.
She
I
just
mean,
did the one
to break in,
It's not too bad.
right?
I mean, I saw a lot of Margaret Qualley the other day. Oh man.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Jeez.
Logan's Run. I always forget she was in that. We keep bringing that movie up, but
she's so good in Logan's Run.
so why not have her
Fun.
just do these kind of movies? Saturn 3, Logan's Run, Spaceman McGee. Like, just keep going. Keep doing these.
Yeah.
I'd love that. Her last big thing was something called Notorious, a TV show. I don't remember what Notorious or So Notorious. Sorry,
Little Duran Duran there, Brian.
I can't not hear that and not sing it.
Tori
neither.
Spelling, Zachary Quinto. I don't remember this at all, but she was in that.
Also was no Tory.
So it wasn't so notorious.
That's
as
right. It had a
Yeah.
Tory.
Tori Us. Ooh, that
right.
looks bad. I don't want to see this show. Anyway, the only other thing I would say, there's too many things that gross me out, and they all involve Kirk Douglas being sweaty or weird.
Nah.
So they really just take from
Fair enough.
column A and column B. It
How
doesn't
many
matter.
how many shower heads do two people need? And do they run all of them? What are we, like elephants? What are we doing?
I do
I
like
can answer this expertise
Do it.
question.
Guess, give us
Go.
I could never have too many shower heads except
Interesting.
well, and that's just because I've never tried. Like
Right.
once you get to 3, once you
Yeah.
have 2 shower heads on one end of the shower and another one on the opposite side, you
Right.
just have so much more than you can work with. Like I've never tried 4, but I've always imagined that around 5 shower heads, it's too many.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like more than one makes me feel like I'm an elephant.
I
Like,
have
I've got to
installed-
cover all the spots.
I have installed so many extra shower heads in my life, and it's because I always have dogs, and I want those shower
Right.
heads you can pop off and reach all the way down to
Oh,
the floor of
yeah.
the shower.
Yeah, those are
One
good.
of those.
Yeah.
And
I
so
like
I just
those.
add them everywhere.
Yeah, those add-ons are great. My brother-in-law had a kind of converted his to be a giant steam room, but what he did with the shower part was he put one for the facing one that you were all used to, like a single one, and then above it on the ceiling is a great big disc that just rain. It's a rain one, they call it, I guess, or a rain shower,
Yeah.
whatever. So that just
Oh,
pours
yeah,
on you
straight
from
down.
above, and then he's got another one that's like a high-powered something or other over here, and then something underneath, almost bidet-like. I can't remember what that was. I don't think
I
that was
want one that's
Like an undercarriage spray or something.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It was
I want
something
one
like that.
sticks- I want one that sticks way out at your crotch area. That's what I want. So people get in the shower, they have to feel uncomfortable. It's like, oh,
It just sticks
Oh,
way
my.
out and hangs there. Yeah, no, there is not like the what do you call it? We went on the cruise. We went on. They had these showers at the spa place that were like that, just these big rain showers, and then all these different directions. You could turn on the patterns, and it would be like crazy water patterns in there. I could live in that. I could just
Nice.
stay
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So I'm with Randy. Shake it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Shake it up.
I add shower heads. But there is definitely a maximum. It's higher than the number 3.
Yeah,
It's
whatever
like-
that is. I don't want to put any limits on you, dude. You do whatever you want.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we clip it?
Clip it.
Let's clip it. Let's clip it.
Flip it.
Flip it.
Bop
Yeah.
it.
Let's
Bop
flip it, clip
flip
it,
Twist it.
ship it,
Twist it.
put a tip in it. All right, here we go.
Oh my! What?
Whoa.
No, I meant like a dollar, like a dollar
really
in a
all-
jar. You know,
All Harvey Keitel wanted the whole movie.
yeah,
He just wanted a little moment.
just
He
a little,
wanted
just
bit.
a little
I'm not-
change
just a tip.
for the Ronald McDonald organization. You know, just put it in the jar. That's all.
That's right.
That's all.
Sure.
That's of course all I meant. All right, let's get to it. This is this starts with this. Oh, mumbly suit talking. I don't know why I capture it, but I did.
Is that all right in here? Yes.
Yes. Take me to the planet. Yes. Are you using your body? Here is Harvey Keitel. This is before I realized it wasn't him, and the name of this file is "There's no way this is really Harvey Keitel talking." But then I realized pretty quickly what was going on. But here it is.
You're quite an event in our lives.
Well, I guess you don't get many drop-ins on Saturn 3.
Hardly ever, especially not from Earth.
Yeah.
Especially not from Earth.
Isn't it weird that there's all this lingo that makes no sense, but then when they're talking, they're just talking normally.
Mhm.
They don't ever use the extra lingo.
Yeah, it's weird. Also, Kirk Douglas just sounded like he always did in anything ever. He didn't like.
No.
He just sounded like Kirk Douglas.
He's Kirk Douglas. That's what he does.
Yeah. I guess that's why you hire him.
He does the best Kirk Douglas.
He walks in, someone says, "Wait, where'd my wallet go?"
Great Charlton Heston.
Yeah. Here is, what is this? Oh, I don't know what this is.
We do acknowledge.
But we don't always scan.
We do acknowledge.
But we don't always scan. That's what we say around here all the time, right? Yeah.
Right.
Finger guns.
Finger gun, pew pew. All right, here's Keitel again.
How long will it last? I need some rest.
I need rest.
Less than 4 hours.
Well, Robertson.
I thought when the thing, we were reading the point of the movie or the story of the movie before seeing it, I thought he was the android. Because he was so android-like in his behavior that I thought, oh, okay, he's going to turn out to be they're going to scrape half his face off and it'll be a robot
that was
underneath.
Intentional.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If it was, it worked. Well done, guys.
It worked.
Good on him. Yeah.
Kirk Douglas landing on a bed with a topless 33-year-old. You ready? Here we go. There you go. That's all.
He almost launched her into the shower. It was great.
I'd pay to see it. I'd pay to see it. Here's a strange sound from Douglas. Just made a weird noise.
Good. Very good.
I like it. All right. No, and then a yell.
No.
That's good. That's really she got scared.
Oh, wow.
That was perfect. I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No.
Made me wonder if she really got scared. Here's the body part.
Yes, you have a great body. May I use it?
May I use it? Not may I use it? May I use it?
May I use it?
I like the age of consent, at least,
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
still need to go do some training, but, for the most part.
Everyone's asking for consent. And nobody seems to be ignoring no's.
Until you're denied like the fifth time. The fifth time he gets denied, he stops asking and taking.
He's just a man. Come on.
Yeah, he's a bad man, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all men. Don't say it that way. Here we go. How long? Here's a line I liked. How long you staying?
How long are you staying?
Till I'm done.
When I'm done.
Oh, that would have been perfect Ibit prom date material. Oh, well.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
That would have been good. There were a lot of opportunities for that here, but I didn't. I didn't do them. They seemed too obvious.
Squandered opportunity.
The latest robot.
The latest robot.
The latest robot.
Little robot.
Robot.
Yeah,
We were still transitioning from robot to robot.
I was hoping for some good robot, but no one did it really.
Yeah.
Hardcore anyway, but it was close. All right, nobody cares.
No one cares.
Okay.
Ooh, that was close to a Jurassic Park.
No one cares.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Buscemi.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Buscemi's the.
Oh, there you go too. Yeah.
What's it from? It's not Fargo. Is it Fargo?
No.
See, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Was it? What's wrong with this?
Was it Fargo?
That's
a classic
Lebowski?
line, though.
Oh no. No. That Donnie wouldn't do that. I think it was something from. No, it is Ned at the beginning. At the beginning of Jurassic Park, where the guy goes, He goes, Johnson.
Yes.
We've got Johnson
Yes,
here.
that was my original point. But there's also a Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, there's a Buscemi. Nobody cares.
Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy. Shot me in the face. All right. Keep your eyes still.
Keep the eye still.
Easy for you to say, you dick.
You want to lose it?
Yeah.
Come on, keep your eyes still.
The 70s and 80s computer sounds rule is in effect here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, real dumb.
Yep. Love that.
This is supposed to be the dog dying. Yeah.
Wow.
Sure.
Oh no, I gotta go save my dog.
Never once thought dog when I heard that.
Nope. It's more like a.
I thought it was Kurt Russell.
Honestly, I thought it was violin practice. Someone is just practicing the violin.
Kurt Russell.
Douglas.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kirk Douglas.
I don't know.
I do that all the time. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
I say that when I'm trying to think of not Kirk Douglas, but Michael Douglas. I think of
every time.
Kirk, not Cameron. What am I trying to say? Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt. I can't do it.
I know.
I'm terrible with those.
Too
names.
many. All right. Worst sound in film sack in years.
Ooh.
I'll stand by this. be ready. Okay, I've warned you.
I'm ready.
God, I'm ready.
Here goes. Terrible alarm. Terrible.
I'm all right with it. Okay, all right.
I hated it so much. Just
I'll
turn
allow
it off. It wasn't too. It didn't go on for too long, so I'll give him that.
It's kind of accurate, right? Because I mean, we won't be using the same alarms we use now because we've almost become comfortable with the.
Did
the alarm.
anyone else notice that she has 24 emergency buttons? They're all the same.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to figure out if they were all buttons or if they were just lights because when she hit it, it went red.
Okay, 24 emergency lights. Doesn't matter.
Right.
She has a panel that if you just throw a tennis ball at it, you set off the emergency system.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like that room, that control room that had 5 different camera angles of the same person. That's a weird thing to do.
Yes. The robot has said, essentially, Hector has said, I watch you now.
Now I keep you in my eyes.
I've been watching you in the shower.
Right.
Watching your every move. And then you start
It's like Harvey Keitel did before. So I learned that.
Here's a great argument. One of the greatest, maybe. Here you go.
Where have you the right to call me incompetent?
You told me he could perform those functions.
You told me you could
I did it on your say-so.
You told me you could handle him.
You're the one that put them together.
Is this the way you handle him?
Good Lord.
You told.
You said.
I told you. You told me.
Wait a minute.
All right. This is not about Brian, but I wrote get his Brian out. And I meant brain. So this is the flip of the problem. Normally people spell Brian like brain by accident. I did it the opposite here. So this clip is called Get His Brian Out. Here you go.
Get his brain out.
It's just simple as that. But
I think it's where I call it brain, that elongated brain.
Get his brain out. Brain. You have to extend the syllable a little bit because it's so long. Yeah, I like
long.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Kill me, I wrote.
You want to kill me? You want to kill me? Go ahead. Go ahead. Kill me. Kill me. If you think you can.
Talking to yourself, you psycho.
I'm going to say that was his whole
it was the
monologue.
right.
Kill me.
Yeah, when he was,
I don't even like her anyway. She's stupid.
She won't let me have her body.
Right.
Bad robot sounds. I hate these sounds. They're terrible.
That's when he would get his dander up.
I love it. The angry robot sound.
You can't talk to me like that. Oh.
Bad robot.
Yeah, I don't like it. All right. And then finally, the swell shot of Earth.
I'd suggest you walk to the ports and get a good position for a swell view of Mother Earth. Right.
I'm glad that come back into fashion.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And then
I love it.
That was too much buildup because then what we actually see, I'm like, oh, okay. Wow.
Earth.
Swell.
Yeah. You think
swell is right? Swell is appropriate.
Do you think swell as a term ever comes back? We're probably done, right? Other ironic uses.
Oh, I feel like we should bring back swell. Let's work on that.
We could be the impetus for it happening. Let's see. We can say,
swell.
All right.
Totally.
Here's what we do. We're not on Monday, but on the rest of the week of TMS, we're going to try to fit swell in at least twice.
But you got to do it non-ironically because it sounds like it's dripping with sarcasm.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Swell.
So I want to be able to go, oh, Brian, I like your shirt. It's pretty swell. And then
pretty swell.
Yeah, swell.
And then you just act like I said cool or whatever. And you
exactly. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
I think we can do this.
Yeah.
I think we can make this happen. All right. Well, on that note, let's do this right here. I now present to you the official Film Sack checklist for this film, Saturn III. Crotch-hugging male late 70s velour jumpsuits, check.
Crotch-hugging.
Somebody put some pants on old chin hole, check.
Chin hole.
And finally, old half-face Harvey strikes again, check. Let's get to the Star Trek connections. I'm going to guess there's one that's an actor. There might be some technicals.
Just the one, and it's a little bit tenuous, but here we go.
Okay.
There is an actor named Ed Bishop. And in this movie, he plays one of those extra dudes that's kind of coming and going. The dude was named Harding. Mm-hmm. And Ed Bishop didn't even get credited in this movie. But those were the times. It used to be that you didn't fight for a credit, you didn't get a credit. Right?
Yeah, I don't even know.
That in my encyclopedia. Those were the times.
It was
the times.
Before a certain time, if you didn't really like that you were in a movie, or a TV show.
Yeah.
You just didn't make sure that they put you in the credits, and you're fine.
Right.
So Ed Bishop was also in one episode of Star Trek: The Animated Series.
Oh, I love that show.
That's the 1973, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about episode 8. The episode was called "The Magics of Megas 2." Mm-hmm. And this was the original basis for Star Trek V. The Enterprise goes to the center of the galaxy, and they find a demon there, and he puts them on trial for all the things they've done. He played the guy. Asmodeus was the person they find at the center of the galaxy.
I have to go back.
This was Ed Bishop, and here's the deal: in that episode of Star Trek: The Animated Series, he was also uncredited. He didn't want his name on a lot of his work.
Just pay me. Just pay me. Don't tell anybody I did it. Just pay me.
Yeah. I wonder if he was a SAG member or just went around doing little skimpy jobs.
I got to keep my insurance. Just pay me. Oh, I love that idea. Plus, I really hated the animated series.
I loved
when
it.
I was a kid, but as I got older.
Oh yeah.
It's really cheesy. They use like 4 frames of animation for the entire run of the thing. Yeah. It's like so bad, but it's
dry
so
and
fun.
Serious.
I love it.
So fun.
I could watch it right now. I love that shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well done. Let's move on now to the soundtrack grade. I would give it a D for dorky and hardly there.
No.
It's okay. It just kind of hides most of the movie. And maybe that's okay. Sometimes I do like a movie that relies on just dialogue and sound work to create tension. I'm not sure this is a shining example of that, but
it would have been really interesting though if it had had a regular score by a great composer.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know who would that have been, Goldsmith or somebody back then, probably. Sure, that would have been a good choice. And they would have, because then we would have had another film sack movie with Goldsmith, which would make it like 4 billion movies. That guy was crazy back then. Right. Anyway, let's move now to the social media post. Doesn't matter what we call it, but it's a place where you can post, and you can only do 280 characters. That's the rule. And this week we start with Randy.
Saturn 3. What if on the moon we had a sweet pet, a good dog named Sally, best you ever met? And when a mad murder bot rips her to bits, we'd cry for a minute and then get over it. Hydroponics.
Hydroponics,
baby.
You found a way to rhyme hydroponics, and I am in awe of that. Awesome. That's great.
Well done.
I guess awesome. Ix. You can do anything with Ix, but I didn't see it coming. That was great. Brian Dunaway, for real this time. It's you.
What's your name? Hi. Let me scroll down to my notes and get to where I was at. Saturn 3. When your galaxy needs an enema, stick this in it. Hashtag Holy Hal, Harvey Keitel.
When your galaxy needs an enema, stick this in it.
Stick this in it. Holy Hal. I was like, was that supposed to be a 2001? It's got to be. Thank you, Holy Hal.
All right.
When he yells it when he's getting chopped up.
Yeah.
Vincent.
No. Brian Ibbett, take it away.
I had 2 early on. I came up with Saturn 3. Saturn 3. Run, Logan, run.
Nah.
I wasn't happy with that one. So I came up with Saturn 3. On a scale of Saturn 1 to Saturn 10, I give it a Catwoman.
I was on the same lines. I was trying really, really hard to make up the concept of, how you go to the bathroom and you do a number 2 or you do a number 1. This was even worse.
Number 3.
But I just couldn't figure out the joke.
I just did a Saturn 3 in my pants.
Yeah. Ooh, get off the bus as quick as you can. Real quick though, it is, I was thinking about this at the end of it. I was like, all right, is this anywhere near the bottom of the barrel we've seen? And I still say Catwoman's the worst thing we've seen. Mainstream thing. Like, I know that, we think of
Troll 2 or
Troll 2 is like so worth seeing because of its badness. Like it's
What was the one with the bees? Not the Wicker Man, but the one with
with Aunt Bee?
No.
Literally the bees?
No.
I know right.
It was like with Bruce Bruce Sam Raimi dude. Bruce Campbell. Thank you.
The sci-fi. That was a sci-fi direct TV thing, so I don't know if we get to count it. Maybe we can.
I've been listing over the years. I've been listing it when it's really, really bad. Like when it's truly like I would never watch this again.
Yeah.
And so like I've got Super Snooper and Battlefield Earth and Retrograde and Daughters of Satan, Troll 2, Star Crash, Omega Doom.
What?
And then and then I like the very next level is I wouldn't watch it again, but I want to talk about it. Like those first
somebody else to watch it. And you can
Maybe.
stare at them the whole time.
Yeah, anyway,
watching
it's
it. Huh?
like just one notch above is like Action Jackson, Caveman, Millennium, Red Planet Mars, and Barbed Wire.
It's all pretty bad.
And like this movie, I honestly don't think I want it in either of those categories. So I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't know. I put it with Star Crash. Star Crash and this.
Star Crash is a good comparison because of the sci-fi thing.
Yeah, and they feel like they occupy the same space, and it's a space I like returning to, so I can never put it my worst because I just don't think it's that bad. But that thing with Lundgren was pretty bad.
Zardoz not on those lists, Randy?
Ooh, Zardoz.
It's not a comprehensive list. It's just things that came to mind as the one.
Do you guys know that Zardoz happened about a month ago? The year and day that Zardoz happens in the film, we just passed it. We're past Zardoz time now.
Oh wow!
I didn't even look at the penis. Dang it!
It's evil. Don't look at it. It's evil.
Oh,
I'll actually give you two movies that I thought of while watching this one, which were Galaxy of Terror and Battle Beyond the Stars. They're all bad. Like this one and those movies, which we sacked previously, they're just all bad. I'm just like, I'm not ready to put Saturn 3 in that bottom tier. That's like,
it doesn't belong
kind of like hateful. I'm mad at that movie.
Just as a reminder, Dunaway, never forget.
Penis is evil.
Penis is evil.
Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. All right, well done, everybody, with your social media posts. It's time for the alternate titles. And I am definitely holding it in my hand, not a manual to a camera I just got. Okay, let's see what we got here. Number 5 has a tiny head. That was rejected.
Oh, love it.
And finally, Spartacus and one of the Charlie's Angels try and undo the dark work of Tiny Head Terminator and the Wolf. So there you go.
Terminator like that.
You remember him? He was the wolf in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
He's a cleaner, man.
You got a guy in the garage in the car without a head.
Yeah. Clean.
By the way, this might be the best example for my list of the most overrated bad movies. It's when a movie for some reason on Rotten Tomatoes has a mediocre score, and I don't understand how it got that high. Not like when people overrate a movie, but just like when critics are like, because on Saturn 3 on Rotten Tomatoes it's 31%, and I'm like, who's that third of critics?
That's higher than I thought.
Yeah, it might be the most overrated that I've come across.
The most busy person involved with this production is easily Harvey Keitel. That dude is still doing tons of work. Last year, he had 5 episodes in a TV show. He had 3 movies. Prior to that, a whole bunch. Worked all through the aughts. I mean, he's just a busy boy. He's just
in the defense of the other actors, they're all dead. So
well,
they
good
don't
point.
work as much.
They don't work as much as they did when they were alive. You're right. That's true.
Right.
Do we have a favorite Keitel thing? Like favorite thing? I think
Star Night.
That's what? Star Night. What'd you say? What is it?
Star Night.
Star
19 also known as the Night of the Dragon, 1985 Star Night. You know what I'm talking about, Ibbot. You watched it with me at our meetup, Southeast meetup.
Oh, that was
Harvey
him?
Keitel. Yeah, and the David Bowie-like actor, right?
Oh,
I remember watching Wizard of Oz. Was this the previous year?
No, that was when it was in the mountains. When it was in Asheville, we watched Star Night when we were down in.
Oh God, okay. Oh, Night, K-N-I-G-H-T. Yes,
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
wow. Look at this piece of shit. Why aren't we watching this for the show? What are you doing?
Because I will never watch it again.
Because it wouldn't let us.
You had your chance.
You had your shot.
Man.
You took it.
That looks so bad and great at the same moment.
Oh, he's so dubbed in it too. It is absolutely beautiful.
I think mine probably is Reservoir Dogs. I thought he was really something in that.
Was great. Yeah. There was another one where he was a cleaner, not just Pulp Fiction. Point of No Return. It was a remake of La Femme Nikita with Bridget Fonda.
Oh.
And you had to scrub your head for Bridget.
It was like Bridget Jones' Diary.
Yeah, wasn't he? Oh, and he's unrecognizable in it, but I loved him in the Grand Budapest, not Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah,
was that it?
That's
loved him in that.
No, I did not realize
Everyone always forgets that's him, and I didn't know for like the first 10 minutes of the scene, and then I went, "Is that's a shaved Harvey Keitel? What the hell is going on here?" He's great in that.
He's apparently better when he's around people who are putting in great performances around him. Like he got an Oscar nomination for Bugsy.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's kind of remarkable. Like if you just look at Harvey Keitel and listen to him talk, like wow, this guy got nominated for an Oscar.
Didn't he get something for the piano other than his pants off?
Yes, the Jane Campion film, The Piano.
Yeah,
he got a adult video award for his appearance on the piano.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like he's in that movie, he's surrounded by people like Holly Hunter and Sam Neill, who are all trying really, really hard, and they kind of lift him up. And he's fantastic in that movie.
Yeah, he really is good. So is, I guess Anna Paquin got nominated. She's only 12 or 13 or something.
Right. Second youngest woman nominated or girl nominated at that age.
Yeah, she was just a little kid.
I gotta consider watching The Piano with my kid. It's pretty R-rated, isn't it?
It is. Much of it is. A bunch of it is. I'll say it that way. I don't know. I think that's a good kind of important movie. I don't know. Jane Campion movies are great.
It's how I feel about The Pianist. Like important, yes. Do I want anybody to think even about Roman Polanski?
No, you do not.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I can see Broken Nose and lots of other stuff, so I don't need that movie anymore. Let's see. What's
is it broken or just very large?
I assume it's broken, isn't it? It looks like it looks busted.
There's a big bump in the middle of it, so
it's also way off to the right or something. I could be wrong, but I think it's broken. I don't know. I'm no doctor.
Why not both?
Yeah, let's let it be both. It's big and broken. In fact, the bigger your nose, the higher likelihood there is that you'll break it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look at it that way. All right. Well done. Let's move on now to the emails. I got, let's see. What do we have here? We have 3. They're all pretty quick. This one came from Wildermott, who says, if you ever wondered if it was possible to make a film entirely out of tropes and then wonder no more, Mercenaries is a new film on Amazon Prime. And it is so corny, it's dripping butter. I'm wondering, I like that. I'm wondering if they made it especially for Film Sack. Is it bad? Absolutely. Is it filled with stereotypes? Of course. Is it fun? Only if you approach it with a Film Sack mindset. If you wanted to sack a brand new film, then that's the one, says Wildermott. This is, again, Mercenaries. I don't think I have any knowledge of this movie.
Nothing.
Let's just do a quick look here. I meant to have Mercenaries. Here it is, 20...
There's a new one with what's her face? Speaking of Charlie's Angels, Cameron Diaz, but I don't think this is it. No, this is not.
Yeah, and I don't see anything other than 2014. Is this the one? This isn't it. I don't see anything that's newer than that.
The one I'm seeing is 2014 as well. Okay, so
maybe that's it.
That can't be it. With Vivica A. Fox, Zoe Bell, Christiana Loken, our Terminator 3 Terminator.
Oh yeah, This must be what he's talking about. If this is it, it looks pretty bad, but it's not new.
What are you talking about?
It looks 10 years old because it is.
Bridget Nielsen.
11 years old, I guess. Well, anyway, we'll dig in a little bit, Wildermott, see what we can find.
Yeah.
Jeff Sire, our old pal from Canada, wrote in. Oh wait, we should give him a little of this here.
Canada.
There we go.
That's fair.
He wrote, it's always fair, right? The Canadians expect it. We provide it. He says, boys, responding to Scott's question about people peeing out of fear, or at least a parallel comment. We were talking about Unforgiven and whether you would pee if a bunch of guns suddenly pointed at you. And I have doubts. But anyway, he says, when Saving Private Ryan came out, I was in the Army for Canada. He said, I don't know why that sounds funny to say it that way. The Army for Canada.
For Canada.
My regiment had landed in the first wave on Juno Beach, and a bunch of our vets got together and went to watch it, the movie that is. After they came back to the sergeant's mess for drinks, a few of us were there to talk about it with them. They were all pretty shaken up by it and said it was very close to what it was really like. One of the guys I was talking to said the only thing they left out was nobody shit their pants. He said he had been in a bunch of battles and someone always shits their pants. Nobody ever talked about it, but it always happened, said Jeff. Okay, well that I could see because your body's instinctual stuff that you have no real control over it would do two things would happen in my mind. One, conserve water so you wouldn't pee, but get rid of all the waste because you need to survive, and waste is antithetical to that. And your bum waste needs to go first. So I think that you losing your turds before you'd lose your pee does seem reasonable to me.
I think it's a good point. Yeah. And I also think there's been plenty of times where I thought it was going to be a fart and it was a poop. Whereas, I've never thought I was going to, it's always pee. if you pee.
Okay. No.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Thank you for that.
Right,
So,
you're welcome.
I mean, but have you ever gone to pee, like, and you're like, all right, this is just a pee, and then it's like, I don't know,
Something else? No, it's
tomato,
always pee.
like
If I'm gonna
tomato
pee,
soup,
I pee and it's pee.
like chunky tomato soup comes out or something like that. You don't want that.
Yeah. No, you don't want that.
I just grossed
That
out
would
a
be
lot of people.
shocking.
I'm gonna get emails about
Oh,
this.
that rules out one thing that I'm having for lunch.
Yeah, very gross.
Gross.
Let's move on to this. John Shu wrote in. He says, "Hey Scott, Brian, and Randy, longtime listener of your podcast. I had a question I've been wondering about for a while, and I thought I'd ask. Do any of you use Letterboxd? If you haven't used it, it's a great app/site to keep track of movies with lots of interesting stats and insights, kind of like IMDb, but less analytical and more like a social network. Thought I'd reach out and ask. Enjoy the podcast. God bless and Godspeed, Josh Shu." Every day, there's not a day that doesn't go by where I go, I really ought to get on Letterboxd because everyone's doing it, and then I just don't.
Yeah. Here's my thing. We make Film Sack, and we have too many different avenues to talk to you guys already.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Discord and the Patreon and so on. And Letterboxd is very complicated. Like it's a community that you can just give your life over to, and I'm just not ready to do that.
Yeah.
I want to be available over on Discord, and we're on Blue Sky right now, and like I don't know. It's just
nobody's
a lot.
really explained to me what Letterboxd would give me over what I already do, and if it's just simply to say, "Oh, here are my friends' favorite movies." I mean, there's value in that, knowing that so and so saw something and loved it, and now it's in their top 3, and now I can look at their list and say, "Oh, sweet, I probably should do that." I mean, that's cool, but I don't know if I need to get all in the way that
all
people
up in
are.
that business.
Are either of the Bryans
you
using
say?
it? Do you guys use it at all?
I'm using it. Yeah. I don't use it regularly.
I've got an account.
I don't. Yeah,
Same.
exactly. I think I like it more for the you get these emails called letterbox rushes where it just tells you what's popular with people. But the best part is the review, the reviews that they've isolated out that are really good. For example, Nosferatu, horniest vampire movie since Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Wow.
I like it.
That's great.
Let's see. Nosferatu skips leg day. Amelia Perez, impressive, a musical with 0 good songs. If Selena gets nominated for an Oscar for this performance, I am king the Academy's cards.
Nice. I like a good snark culture, so I'm in.
But the problem is that's just based entirely on people liking and commenting on your review. So it drives you to try to be funny and silly.
Let it drive people. It's successful. Like,
no, absolutely. I'm just like, there's the social media problem is at the heart of this.
Yeah.
I don't want to go expend more sweat on anything, but I do like, I'd like those fed to me. I don't want to be responsible for trying to come up with them or vote on them. Yeah. There you go.
But please give them to me so I can read them and laugh at them.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad position. I like it. I support
And it's
it.
a lot easier. It's a lot easier place for us to like import a list of here. Like we can import an entire CSV file. Here are all of the Film Sack movies and get a full on list.
Yeah.
Or even better, here are all the ones we've got on the watch list. Let me know when one of them pops into one of our services.
Yeah. Those kinds of things are very useful. I guess I kind of use Real Good that way. I used to use Just Watch.
But can you do that with the you can use like I don't know if you can do it with our import.
No, you
like
have to go manage it, which is a problem. That'd be nice if you could though. That'd be cool if they gave us like a CSV format that you could follow and then just upload that, and that would be awesome actually. But or an RSS or something. I don't know how you do it. Well, anyway, thank you for that, John and Jeff, and who's the other one? Wildermott. Thank you, all 3 of you, for sending in those emails. That email is filmsack@gmail.com. And if you're like, wait, I thought I could text you. You can. You can. 801-471-0462. You can also voicemail us there if you'd like. And a reminder that we are supported by you at home on patreon.com/filmsack or on the go. You don't have to be at home. Be wherever you want to be. But it's patreon.com/filmsack. We got new folks this week. Jay Walker. Not JJ Walker, Jay Walker.
Jay Walker. I like it. Jay Walker.
Jay Walker. Yep.
North Carolina Pete. And he's I think he's also doing Play Retro this week.
Yeah, I did. Thank you, Pete.
Thanks, Pete. And then Ortho Baker. Or Otho, or there's no R. Otho
Ortho Baker's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Baking them orthos. Anyway, they're all here, and we love having them here because they know what it's like to get no commercials or ads, pre-show content every week, monthly host specials, and movie-related arts in the print in the mail. I don't know whose normal time it is to do a host special, but I'm still behind one. So
we're still going to get one from you, Scott?
You're still going to get one. You're going to get one from me no matter what before my new month comes. I swear.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So you may end up getting 2 this month. Dunaway and me, and who will be first? Well, with my luck, it'll be Dunaway, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Either way, you get this stuff.
I'll drag my feet. Will that help?
Yeah, do it. And nobody else gets these, by the way. This is a patron only thing. So this delay from me has been a patron's thing, and this being on time from everyone else, that's also a patron benefit. Think of it that way. It's all benefits all the way around. All right. Our next movie is No Escape on Prime, unless it's changed. Is that still the deal?
We can't get out of it now.
Let's be really clear. No Escape, 1994. Yeah. Do not watch a newer movie called No Escape.
What is the newer one? Is it bad? Good?
I don't know.
It'd be the wrong movie is the point, I think.
Oh, okay. The Lake Bell, Pierce Brosnan, No Escape. But ignore that. We want the 94 Ray Liotta, Lance Henriksen one, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, and we're still on Amazon Prime for the month of January. If you're on Netflix, you're watching the wrong No Escape. Don't do that.
Oh, this movie has the other Dillon, Kevin Dillon, Matt Dillon's brother. Sweet.
Oh, cool.
I love that. It always means quality. Not really. I'm making that up. It doesn't mean quality at all. It usually means bad. Whatever. I haven't seen this. I'm in. Let's do it. Lance Henriksen is my man. So
if you go way down the cast list, Ernie Hudson is in this.
What?
Movie. Yeah.
Shut up. Dude.
How about Stringfellow Hawk? Is he on there too?
No. Let's see. Michael Lerner's on here. He's on an episode of Seinfeld. Let's see. Ian McNeice. He's not related to Ian McNephew. Don't look him up.
I was gonna go with a nephew niece joke. Oh, so good.
Stuart Wilson. I like him. But Ray Liotta, hit and miss on things that weren't mob related. So we'll see how this goes. Anyway, that's next week. No Escape on Prime, Amazon Prime. Lots of Prime stuff here lately. So that's where we're watching that one. It's also on something called...
My favorite Ray Liotta is the one where he tells me not to smoke. That was a good commercial.
That's a good commercial, right?
Oh, yeah. Former smoker Ray Liotta. Yes.
It's also in the Plex lineup, the official one, and also on something called Fossum, a streaming service called Fossum.
This is so.
It sounds so made up, like you're just trying to come up with the name of the service. Watching on Fossum.
It really sounds fake, doesn't it?
Trevo.
Fossum.
Let's see. Yeah, I've never been here before. FAWESOME, like awesome, but with an F.
Fair Fossum. Yeah.
Fair Fossum.
Oh, look at this.
It's effing awesome. Get it?
They got some old. This is like Tubi. I might have to.
Is this where all the junk is?
I hope so. I was just saying this again the other day. I've said it on the show. If Tubi would charge me money to be non-commercials, I would pay them in so fast their heads would spin.
Yep.
Tubi's awesome. Freaking love Tubi. But I hate not having a way out of the ads. It's one thing, I think it's great to have an ad tier for those who want it, but let me buy out of the tier. Like, what are you doing? What is this? Cable TV? I don't want to go back there. Anyway, that's it for today's show. Thanks for listening, everybody. Filmsack.com is the website. And you should leave us reviews wherever you get your podcasts because that always helps us here on the show. If you have any questions for us, make sure you contact us. All that stuff is at that link. That'll do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
No Taction contact.
We'll see you next time.
Those pants are made for frogging, if you know what I mean. I actually don't. Frogpants.com.
Get his brain out!